Hey there everybody, Manly Starman here. Before jumping into part 2, really quick, I found an option and I can disable the whole event for both characters threaten suicide and win, so really quick, so we can have one definitive winner from the first part, we have just Aradia and Tavros, the finalists from last time, and we're gonna simulate for probably a whole single screen and one of them's going to die and we'll have our definitive winner. So really quick, I'm going to tack this on to the start of part 2, and here we go. Flip back. Tavros runs away. Aradia runs away. Okay. Aradia severely slices Tavros with a sword. And, okay, our definitive winner will be Aradia. Okay. Now that that's out of the way, on to part 2. And we're back. Same setup as last time, just this time we have the Alpha Kids. District 1, Jane and Jake. District 2, Roxy and Dirk. And then Districts 3 through 8 covered by the pre-scratch trolls, with the new additions of Calliope and Caliborn. Before we jump in, something I forgot to do last time, I'm going to give my personal take on who I think will win. But I don't think I can help but be biased here. I'm rooting for my boy Jake. I hope he makes it far at least, if not win. Without further ado, let's get started. Proceed. As the tributes stand on their podiums, the horn sounds. Kurlos runs, Damara runs, Mulin runs into the cornucopia and hides. Jake gets fishing bait while Porum gets the fishing gear. Horace finds Mina hiding in the cornucopia and kills her. Well, sucks to suck, Mina. Wouldn't think you would be the first one to go out, but good job, Horace. Using that page potential, I guess. Cronus runs. Roxy runs. Calliope finds a bag full of explosives. I don't even think she'd know how to use them, but... Aradia runs. Mituna runs. Caliborn runs. Dirk receives a trident. Cankry grabs a backpack, not realizing it's empty. Nice big brain play there, Cankry. Latula grabs a shield, and Jane stabs Rufio with a tree branch. I guess it works as a fork. Day 1. Latula receives an explosive from an unknown sponsor. Cankry searches for a water source. Horace, after being the first one to draw blood, injures himself. Cronus and Damara work together for the day, okay. Mulin thinks about home. Dirk collects fruit from a tree. I guess he has scavenger experience from growing up in the environment he did. Jake, Mituna, Calliope, and Jane hunt together. Porum and Caliborn split up to search for resources. Weird Caliborn managed to rope in Porum of all people, but okay. Aradia and Roxy work together. And Kurlos tries to sleep through the entire day. 2 cannon shots. Night 1. Damara, Kurlos, and Dirk discuss the games and what might happen in the morning. Caliborn, Latula, and Mituna cheerfully sing songs together. See, like, these two, that works, but I don't know how Caliborn is getting on with anybody. Aradia stays awake all night. Horace stays awake all night. Mulin tends to Roxy's wounds. Good girl, Mulin. Porum and Cronus run into each other and decide to choose for the night. Cankry is unable to start a fire and sleeps without warmth. Calliope lets Jake into her shelter. And Jane tries to treat her infection. This game's been really good about giving specific things to the life players that work for them. Mulin stalks Damara, accurate. Jake sprains his ankle running away from Caliborn, because of course he does. Jane receives fresh water. Calliope attacks Cronus, but he manages to escape. Aradia explores the arena. Horace is going hunting. Kurlos chases Cankry. Roxy makes a slingshot. Dirk is picking flowers, apparently. Latula chases Porum. And Mituna discovers a river. Good job, bud. No cannon shots. Night 2. Cankry questions his sanity. Mituna and Kurlos tell stories about themselves to each other. See, that actually works the Moirails. Calliope, Latula, and Horus discuss the games and what might happen in the morning. Cronus destroys Mulin's supplies while she is asleep. Okay. Roxy screams for help. Damara looks at the night sky. Jake defeats Caliborn in a fight but spares his life. You see, even in this Hunger Games universe, the prophecy comes true. Caliborn getting dunked as fuck by Jake. Dirk and Porum tell stories about themselves to each other, and Aradia begs Jane to kill her, and she refuses, keeping Aradia alive. Day 3. Calliope tries to spearfish with a trident. Jane steals from Dirk while he isn't looking. Jake practices his archery. I don't know how well his gun proficiency would tie into archery, but okay. Mituna diverts Horus's attention and runs away. Cronus is pricked by thorns while picking berries. Caliborn searches for a water source. Mulin searches for a water source as well. Porum defeats Aradia but spares her life. Cancri receives medical supplies. Latula runs away from Kurlos, as would most, I assume. Damara receives explosives, and Roxy is practicing her archery, also the gun person. No cannon shots. Night 3. Caliborn and Jake cuddle for warmth. I guess after Jake one-upped Caliborn, he now respects him. Mituna stays awake all night. Cronus tends to Damara's wounds. Probably no ulterior motive there from him. Latula cries herself to sleep. Jane and Aradia talk about the tribute still alive. Porum tends to her wounds. Mulin and Kurlos talk about the tribute still alive. Accurate. Cancri stays awake all night. Calliope lets Roxy into her shelter. That's very in character of her. Horus and Dirk cuddle for warmth. Also very in character, the two horse guys. Day 4. Kurlos searches for a water source. Mituna, Jake, Roxy, and Damara raid Porum's camp while she is hunting. Little rude. Oh, Dirk dies from thirst. Sorry, buddy. Cronus begs for Aradia to kill him. She refuses, keeping Cronus alive. Meanwhile, Latula begs Horus to kill her, and he refuses, keeping Latula alive. Cancri is pricked by thorns while picking berries. Calliope injures herself. Mulin chases Caliborn, and Jane searches for a water source. One cannon shot for Dirk. Night 4. Kurlos screams for help, I guess inside his own mind. Mituna goes to sleep. Mulin, Calliope, and Damara cheerfully sing songs together. Jake fends Porum, Caliborn, and Latula away from his fire. See, my boy's doing it. Cronus, Cancri, Roxy, and Jane sleep in shifts. Aradia passes out from exhaustion, and Horus cooks his food before putting his fire out. Day 5. Cronus questions his sanity. Porum thinks about home. Aradia kills Jane with a sickle. Not a Vantis doing it, but I guess it works. Mituna, Caliborn, Roxy, Mulin, and Latula hunt for other tributes. Jake stalks Calliope, and Kurlos, Damara, Horus, and Cancri hunt for other tributes. One cannon shot for Jane. Oop. Night 5. Roxy is unable to start a fire and sleeps without warmth. Mituna screams for help. Calliope and Cronus sleep in shifts. Okay. Caliborn defeats Latula in a fight but spares her life, for some reason. Cancri questions his sanity. Yulin thinks about home again. Aradia and Porum talk about the tribute still alive. Horus starts a fire. Damara climbs a tree to rest. And Jake defeats Kurlos in a fight but spares his life. Day 6. Latula questions her sanity. Horus bleeds out due to untreated injuries. Mulin and Aradia work together for the day. Mituna is pricked by thorns while picking berries. Cancri diverts Roxy's attention and runs away. Damara constructs a shaft. Cronus diverts Porum's attention and runs away. Caliborn ambushes Kurlos and manages to kill him. And Jake is stalking Calliope again. Just really into skulls. Night 6. Cronus tries to sing himself to sleep. Caliborn receives a hatchet. Latula is awakened by nightmares. Aradia sees a fire but stays hidden. Corum screams for help. Jake goes to sleep. Damara and Calliope hold hands. Roxy tends to her wounds. Cancri destroys Matuna's supplies while he is asleep. And Mulin quietly hums. Day 7. Jake receives clean water. Latula attacks Matuna, but he manages to escape. No! Latula, what are you doing? Caliborn also gets clean water. Mulin runs from Roxy. Damara and Cancri work together for the day. The two low bloods trying to work together to survive. Aradia explores the arena. Porum accidentally steps on a landmine, so goodbye Porum. Calliope explores, and Cronus fishes, even though he could probably just jump in the water and be much better at it. Roxy defeats Cronus, but spares his life. Aradia, Damara, Caliborn, and Latula sleep, and just how does he keep working with the girls? Cancri cries himself to sleep. Calliope climbs a tree to rest. Mulin goes to sleep, and Jake lets Matuna into his shelter. Day 8. Cancri tends to Mulin's wounds. Damara discovers a cave. Caliborn fishes. Calliope ambushes Latula and kills her. Good job, Calliope. You managed to kill one person at least. Cronus questions his sanity. Jake sprains his ankle running away from Roxy. And Matuna runs away from Aradia. Night 8. Cronus looks at the night sky. Calliope and Mulin huddle for warmth. Damara goes to sleep. Caliborn defeats Roxy, but spares her life. Aradia convinces Matuna to snuggle with her. Okay. Jake climbs a tree to rest, and Cancri sets up a camp for the night. Day 9. Matuna, Calliope, Mulin, and Aradia raid Roxy's camp while she's hunting. Cancri makes a slingshot. Cronus gets fresh food. Jake receives a hatchet, and Damara scares off Caliborn, probably unaware that he's her god. Night 9. Jake, Roxy, Damara, Cancri, and Cronus sleep in shifts. Calliope looks at the night sky. Caliborn sets up camp. Aradia defeats Mulin, but spares her life. And Matuna attempts to start a fire, but is unsuccessful. Day 10. Mulin discovers a cave. Matuna gets a hatchet. Caliborn explores. Damara makes a spear. Roxy poisons Calliope's drink, but mistakes it for her own and dies. Unfortunate. Cancri overhears Jake and Cronus talking in the distance. The whole players are now trying to work together, I see. And Aradia searches for a water source. Night 10. Matuna sets off an explosive, killing Cronus, Caliborn, and Mulin. Good job, Matuna. You beat the big bad. Aradia is awoken by nightmares. Damara lets Calliope into her shelter. Cancri goes to sleep, and Jake receives an explosive from an unknown sponsor. Ooh, the feast. We have an event. And the final 6. The cornucopia is replenished with food, supplies, weapons, and memoirs from the tribute's families. Jake and Damara decide to work together to get more supplies. Aradia catches Matuna off guard and kills him. No! And Cancri bashes Calliope's head against a rock several times. Jesus, Cancri. Day 11, Final 4. Jake thinks about home. Aradia is picking flowers. And Damara begs for Cancri to kill her. He refuses, keeping Damara alive. 5 cannon shots. Ooh. Hate when I do that. Night 11. Damara stays awake all night. And Cancri sets off an explosive, killing Jake and Aradia. No! You made it to the final 4, buddy. And Damara accidentally steps on a landmine. Meaning, of all fucking people, Cancri survives. How even? 3 kills, 2 of them being at the last moment. Who got the most? Let's see. 3... It's a tie between Kankri and Matuna. Well, who could have seen this coming? Because if you asked me, definitely not Kankri. I almost thought Damar was going to win and be like, wow, the Megidos are just stacked at this, but she still managed to play second, so yeah, they are kind of stacked. In any case, I hope you all enjoyed this video, and next time, thankfully it won't be another Homestuck part. This was actually the last one, so stay tuned for part 3, which will, I believe out of all the ones that I've planned and made up, is the single largest battle that I came up with. So that should probably be a long one, and also one I'll probably want to raise the death probability of, so that way it doesn't take like 20 minutes. Thanks for watching. This has actually been pretty fun doing this nice, simple content that I can consistently put out like this. I know I'm having fun at least. See you all in part 3. Have a great day, everyone.